Hi there YouTube, I am Galdate74 here, bringing you guys another video. This is week 7 of the UPA. This battle was done a little bit later, thus I am recording this team builder section a little bit later. But in contrary to all of that, it's actually really early in the morning here, so I'm very melatonin right now, and we'll see how that goes for this recording. But our opponent this week is going to be the Ann Arbor Accelgors, coached by Jesse. We are still undefeated, as you guys see, and my opponent is 3-3. So we'll see how this battle is going to break down today. What I think about this matchup, I think the matchup is pretty 50-50, though the team that I do have, I am a pretty big fan of, so I think our chances are a little bit better, but we will see. My opponent has a bunch of cool things on their team. They got, sand, they have a really good fairy dragon steel core, and they have a few good low tiers, as we can talk about more as when we look at his team. You guys see it there. I will quickly read off my opponent's team. Jesse's team this week consists of G-Max Toxtricity, Excadrill, Latios, Tapu Fini, Blaze Cinderace, Gigalith, Virizion, Regice, Aldino, Dusknoir, and Vullaby. Now, this team on surface level is very good, and I think it is a pretty good team still. The one things I want to point out on his team, there's the Fairy Dragon Steel core, the Excadrill, Lati, and Fini are very scary to prep up against. But I think the biggest threats against my particular team I have this week are Latios and actually the Virizion. I say this because my switch-ins to those things are not amazing. I do have Ferrothorn for the Latios, however, Latios now gets Mystical Fire. And on top of that, Ferrothorn's also really pressured in this game to cover things like the Toxtricity, the Gigalith to a lesser extent, the Aldino if that decides to come, even Drill, and Tapu Fini. I could keep going. Ferrothorn's really good here. But it can't just be here for Lati. And then the Virizion I just don't have an amazing switch-in for because it gets good coverage moves like Stone Edge and Zen Headbutt. Cinderace is a very mixed bag. It's really good against some things on my team, but really bad against others, like Rotom Wash, for example. Cinderace isn't doing anything to that thing, really. And one final note for his team is, even though Sand is decent against my team, because Rotom is also pretty good in this game, I could see my opponent bringing a Mold Breaker Excadrill of some variant, whether it be Scarf Mold Breaker or SD Rapid Spin. I could see either of those sets coming. But if not, Sand Rush could be a thing. But looking at my team this week, I don't have really anything else to talk about my opponent's team. Everything is just kind of just there. For my team, I am bringing a Poke-Up Crook and SD Charizard, so a bunch of setup threats this week. And my game plan, I did actually kind of deviate from my game plan, as I did want to lead off with Crook early and use it to just break things and maybe try and set up. But looking at the matchup, like right before the battle, I was like, Crook's health could be very helpful in this game. So I decided to make like Crook more of a mid-game threat, and then Charizard use it early. So that's kind of going to shift the focus to more of that game plan. But otherwise, that's really it for his team. What I'm going to be bringing to this game this week consists of Rotom Wash, Crocodile, Cinccino, Comfey, Ferrothorn, and G-Max Charizard. Jet Swirly, the Rotom Wash, is coming to another game this week. This is going to be a max HP, a lot of defense Rotom, and a little bit of speed with a bold nature, holding the Sugar Berry, moves being Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Foul Play, and Pain Split. This is my defensive wall this week. This is mainly here for two Pokemon, Excadrill and Cinderace. Let's start off with Excadrill. Even if it is the Mold Breaker set, I did throw on Sugar Berry as a nice tech, so they can, obviously Earthquake is still going to do a lot, but I can live the Earthquake and knock it out with Hydro Pump. I just like the tech on this set this week. Felt like it fit. And then Cinderace. Cinderace does have a field day against some members of my team this week. However, Rotom Wash can always come in on it and just tank hits for days. Even banded moves from Cinderace aren't doing a crazy ton to Rotom just because it's a Blaze Cinderace. And I have, again, Hydro Pump and or Foul Play for that set. Pain Split for recovery. And then speaking of Foul Play, I do have it on here because I like the neutral ground between Excadrill and Lati, because otherwise Lati would have some free switch-ins into Rotom Wash. However, if the Virizion comes, I do not really see myself clicking this button just because it's pretty risky with the justified boosts. And Virizion and Lati already being a problem, maybe Volt Switching is just the answer. But that is going to be the Rotom set this week. We're going to move on into our second Pokemon, which is Crocodile. Crocodile is running max attack, almost max speed with a little bit of HP, holding the leftovers, and has the Intimidate ability, moves being Bulk Up, Substitute, Earthquake, and Knockoff. I can sub up on 4 switches and or the Autono if it decides to come. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to yet, but if it does, then again, I can sub and bulk up on it for free. I don't expect Verzion to run Synthesis if it comes this week, which I do expect it to. So if I can sub up and then just hit it with EQs repeated times, I should be able to wear it down pretty fast. EQ does around 40-ish% to a no bulk Verzion. That's a lot of damage considering. So I was quite fine with that. And his only other answer to this would be the Vullaby, but knocking off that thing's Eviolite is just a win in itself. So I was quite fine with that. Otherwise, just bulk up sub can just kind of run through my opponent's team. It's really good. I like Intimidate. It makes revenging his Sandcore and Cinderace a little bit easier just because of the reduced damage. And I think Crook can do a decent chunk here. It's also good against the Toxtricity. The again, Gigalith I already mentioned, the Dusknoir if that decides to come. I can live any hit from Lottie unless it's maybe Specs. And that's just basically going to be the Crocodile set this week. And now we can talk about Cinccino, which is coming to another game this year. Really excited to use Cinccino again this season. This is holding Life Orb, max attack, a 220 speed with a Jolly Nature, and the rest in HP. Moves being Tail Slap, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and U-Turn. This is just another game where Cinccino's coverage is amazing, and being able to fit U-Turn on the set just makes it even better. This does outspeed everything in this game except for Cinderace and, Scarfers, of course, Sandrush Drill included. But again, I felt like Cinccino was really good. I did choose this over Frostlass this week because of the speed tier. I didn't want to have to speed tie with Lottie. I wanted to outspeed it, thus I threw Cinccino on the team. And Ice and Ghost is decent, but having this coverage on Cinccino is a little bit better. So that's why I made that decision in the end. It's just amazing at revenging things on my opponent's team if they're getting out of hand. Maybe something like this SD Virizion, for example, or Excadrill, that's the SD Excadrill as well, that isn't speed boosted. Just coming in and revenging those if they're chipped. Speaking of chipped, I do need to get some chip on Excadrill and Autono because they only take around half from my attacks if they're defensive. Well, if Autono is defensive, Drill can be offensive, so I definitely need chip on that before I use Cinccino to revenge it. And then, things like Feeny and Gigalith might have to take a little bit of damage before they can be knocked out. But otherwise, Cinccino matchup, really good. All I have to say, our fourth Pokemon is Comfey, and this is the Fillermon this week. The only reason I put it on the team is to be a switch into Lottie and the Virizion. Obviously not the greatest switch into either of those Pokemon, though I needed something. The Draining Kiss does a decent chunk to Lottie, and Virizion, it does like 40-ish% to it, but just all I need is chip on it just to be able to revenge it. It's just easier. So I decided to just run Comfey for that. U-Turn on this Pokemon is absolutely amazing, and that was really the selling point in prep this week for me to put it on the team. Just because Comfey's main answers are Excadrill, Toxtricity, and the Cinderace, right? So if either of those Pokemon come in and I U-Turn, Crocodile always comes in and gets a hit off. And we've already talked about how good Crook's matchup is this week. So I was really content with doing that. I do have to really watch out for Comfey's health this week because it can only switch into Lottie and the Virizion so many times without having to heal up. So I will have to take a turn to do that at some point. But otherwise, that's really all Comfey is here for. Fifth on the team is going to be Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is max HP, max Def with a Sassy Nature. With the Aqua Berry, moves being Power Whip, Garaball, Bulldoze, and Leech Seed. This is a very important Pokemon this week, probably the most important on the team. This is here for a lot of different things. The Tapu Fini, the Toxtricity, the Latios, the Audino, Regice, I could keep going. Those are just some Pokemon right there. One thing that you notice is that I usually always run like a hazard on this, maybe Toxic, Leech Seed, and then 2 attacks. I'm actually doing 3 attacks Leech Seed this week. I felt like the coverage was more useful than Rocks or Toxic could ever be in this game. So that's why I have this. Bulldoze particularly for the Toxtricity. So yeah, and then finally I have the Akaberry for like Mystical Fire, Latios, Fire Punch Toxicity, because if Toxicity comes, I do expect Fire Punch to be a coverage move, because it will turn into Max Flare and do a lot of damage. But otherwise, just Ferrothorn is here, just switch in moves and take hits. It can take hits from Gigalith and Drill if it needs to, if it's at enough health. So, it does a lot in this game this week. And our final Pokemon of the week is G-Max Charizard. This is rocking out with the boots, max attack, 212 speed with a Jolly Nature, and the rest in HP. Moves being a Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, Dual Wing Beat, and Earthquake. Now this Charizard is all over the place this week. It is physical because my opponent has more Spadef stuff than defensive, and I felt like that was fine. And just the coverage, well, you could do this coverage on the special sides too. It just hits harder from a physical side. I did think about changing the EVs on this to add a little bit more bulk to it, but in the end I didn't go through with it just because for, breeding reasons and stuff. But after a little bit of chip and being at +2, this thing OHKOs Gigalith and Feeny, assuming they're not like max or anything. So I felt like that was a really nice calc right there to see. I don't need a Swords Dance to be useful, however, I can still simply just Dynamax and fire off Wildfires, Airstreams, and Quakes respectively, and be in a fine spot. Finally, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I did initially want to use this late game as a cleaner, though the more I looked at the matchup, the more I realized that I needed Crook late game, and I didn't really have anything for the early game, so I kind of dedicated Charizard more to the early game. So we'll see how it works. It's not fully meant to just break things at full HP, but we'll see how it goes. That's going to be the G-Max Charizard set, and that's going to wrap it up for the team building section this week. I hope you guys enjoyed if you ended up watching. I know there aren't a crazy amount of Team Builder Gang members, like they're, because that's what Shay calls it in his videos. But anyway, make sure to go check out my opponent. Again, his link will be in the description below, and I'll see you in the battle. So here we are in the battle. Good luck, have fun to my opponent Jesse. I woke up not too long ago, so we're gonna see how this goes. As I do every battle, crossing out notes, no Volibee, no Dusk Noir, no Audino, thank God, no Regice, Virizian's low-key a threat, and no Cinderace, which I'm kind of sad not to see, but kind of happy not to see, depends which way you look at it. So that's kind of cool. It makes Rotom a lot less useful. In fact, I do want to lead off with that actually, because it can Volt Switch on like everything except for Lottie. Again, if he leads Lottie, that would suck, but otherwise I think I'm fine just to do that. Or Virizion too. And I have switch-ins for everything there, I believe. So yeah, that's a safe lead. I'm down to do that. Or should I do Cinccino actually? I think Cinccino's really not a bad lead itself. You know what? Yeah, let's do Cinccino actually first. I'm completely down with that. Probably just going to end up U-turning on whatever is going to be in front of me. So, yeah, good luck, have fun again to my opponent Jesse. If you hear me clicking my other laptop here, then you're going to hear it. That's a cool trainer card. Charizard doesn't look as important either, so I think Crook's going to be a nice late game here. But we'll see. Okay. As Latios is going to be the lead, so I did lead with the correct thing. I'm going to stay in a U-turn. If they're Scarf, at least I'll know. It's going to suck to take all that damage, but I'm okay with that. So we're just going to U-turn here. Probably doesn't kill, but it'll do a lot of damage. I don't think they'll be Scarf, but there's a small chance they can be against my team. So we'll see. It just Harbor Draw, so that's a good lead for me. Good start. They're gonna send in the Feeny. I'm cool with that. I'm just looking for things in here. Let's see how much this is gonna do. Probably not gonna do too much, but that's fine. Yeah, that does like nothing, and I'm gonna take more in Life Orb, I think. I kind of actually like Cinccino against that thing, but it's fine. I can probably go in the Rotom and just Volt Switch, or I can go in a Ferrothorn instead of Leech Seed. I kind of like Ferrothorn because it's really good in this game, but it's really good for Feeny. Yeah, let's go Ferrothorn first. Nice and safe, and I can go for either Leech Seed or Power Whip depending on what I'm in the mood to do here. As he is going to reveal Leftovers. I think I just like straight up Power Whipping because the switch-in isn't amazing to it. Yeah, because if he wants to bring in Verzion, I need chip on that thing. That thing's kind of a threat to my team. So getting damage on it would be really, really nice. I think I got everything on these notes finally. Oh my god. Latios is going to come out. I'm fine with that. I'm completely okay with that. I guess Leech Seed would have been better, but Power Whip's cool too. Yeah, that is a decent chunk. And now I'm going to, I think, Gyro Ball this thing. I think I'm going to do that. Let me do a quick calc here. As my computer is freezing up, which is awesome to see. Latios. Let's just take this set. I'll Gyro Ball. If he hits me with a Mystical Fire, it will hurt, but I am Aqua Berry, as he is going to do that, so that's fine. We'll see how much this does. Go from full to 85. That actually lagged a bit. That looks like Specs. That is Specs. Okay. So we get a lot of damage off on this Latios, just barely missing out on the kill, but again, we know it's Specs, so I can always freely switch out into what I think is going to be the Charizard. Charizard's not crazy useful as it was like initially, so let's just do that. If he he doesn't switch. Charizard might take a decent chunk from this, but I'm fine with that. As he just Mystical Fires again. I'm cool with that. I don't really see an issue in not just Swords Dancing here. I have a Swords Dance physical set this week. So yeah, we'll Swords Dance. If he goes like hard Gigalith, which he probably should do, then I'm just going to G-Max and get damage off. Again, Charizard isn't crazy important in this game as much as it used to be, so I'm cool with like sacking Charizard for Gigalith's health basically. As, yeah, we're going to do a lot of damage to this thing. So if he's like specially defensive, we can actually knock him out. Do I need Charizard for like anything else? It's like nice for Excadrill offensively, but I have other ways to deal with it. And same with Toxicity, so I'm just going to Dynamax and click Max Quake here. If it doesn't kill, again, not really concerned about it. It'd be nice if it did, but hey. So we'll see what's going to happen this turn. You can hear my controller moving around like crazy. I should move that. So yeah, my initial goal was to use Crook early and then Charizard late game, but I think I'm actually going to switch that up and save Cinccino in the back, of course. I feel like keeping my defense is going to be really nice. Yeah, if this just kills, it's going to be absolutely amazing for me. As he lives on like 1, which is very unfortunate. He should knock me out with any rock move he goes for. If he throws up rocks, that's like best case, and a Rock Blast. Oh yeah, this will kill me 100% of the time. Unless he gets 2 hits. Oh, that's... Oh, wait, the sand, though. I should live sand, right? Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm going to die next turn, but I get a free hit off, which is... That is actually pretty unlucky for my opponent. As... Since I'm going to die here, I should just put up Wildfire. I think that's always the best move here. Yeah. As, you know, he'll die to it, and I will get my G-Max Wildfire up. So we traded Gigalith for Charizard, but I think this is a good trade, in my opinion, for me. I mean, if I don't die to Sand, then I did. I mean, I have to. I went from 16 to 7. Right? Yeah. So Charizard dies, but Gigalith is also gone. So that's his Sand Setter gone. And that was pretty good for us. That was pretty good. Now, I have to decide what I have to do here next. I think I'm going to go in the Rotom to avert the Excadrill threat that could be a thing. If Verzion or Lottie comes out, that's fine. Even Toxicity. I just don't want Drill having free turns. So, yeah, we're going to just do that. as we're going to send out Rotom. I can get rid of Gigalith off my screen now. And Electricity comes out, so yeah. He's on the air balloon. Okay, well, that does make things a little bit harder. I really want to Volt Switch, but I'm really slow and I don't want to take all that damage, right? I think it's fine though, right? This thing it's nice, but it's not crazy important. I really want that gone. I really do. I don't want to lose my Rotom. How much am I taking from a G-Max move from this thing? Probably a lot. I don't think I need Ferrothorn anymore. So, honestly, I'm just going to go on the Ferrothorn. It's nice, but I don't need it. Oh, wait, Feeny. Oh, shoot, I forgot Feeny existed. Oh, I might need it, actually. He goes for Shift Gear. I should have Volt Switched. This is not turning out well. Oh, I might just lose the game here. Huh. Nice chip, but... Alright, I need this balloon gone, so I need to Gyro Ball and hope he doesn't kill me, though he should have Fire Punch and all that, so... Oh my god, this is bad. Because I'm going to have to trade my Crook for this too, and I do like Crook in this game. But if he is fully physical, then it's not the end of the world. I think worst thing here would be like Max Knuckle, and not Max Flare. Okay, Max Flare, so I'm dead. I have to be really careful with the Feeny running around now. I completely forgot that existed. My bad. Definitely go hard Crook. And, yeah, definitely go Crook here. He'll be back to neutral. It's the fact that he has Air Balloon that makes this so much harder. And what I'm going to do... I might just lose this, to be honest. I'm going to knock off, I think, right? He has Max Strike. Okay, so he doesn't have Knuckle. This will hurt. Yeah, that does just way too much damage. So yeah, we're gonna have to trade our Crook for this Toxtricity. As we knock off its Air Balloon. It's taking a lot of chip, which is really nice. How many more turns of Wildfire do we have is the question. Info. No more. Okay. Anyway, I can keep this thing. I don't think... It's probably not worth it, to be honest. I just have to play around that drill, like, insanely well. I mean, I have to stay in and just burn this turn, huh? I'll Earthquake, but again, I think he just kills me here. So yeah, Crook's gonna die. I really should, if I Volt Switched with the Rotom, I would have been in a fine position. But because I didn't do that, I put myself in a really bad position. I didn't want to lose Rotom for the Excadrill on the back. And now I don't even know if we beat this thing. Like, does Cinccino live a hit from this thing? Like, non-max. It's not this item. Does Rotom live a hit? Rotom does live a hit, probably. It's just gonna do so much. I think I just have to go on the Rotom. Cinccino can still win me this game, like, decently well. I just have to, like, Yeah, I have to go to Rotom. The thing is, Cinccino needs. I can only two-shot drill at best. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Pretty sure, like, Foul Play just kills this. I'm gonna calc, but yeah, like I don't. Wait, who does he have left? Like everything. Maybe I can still paint split on things. I'm gonna pump. 36. Yeah, I'm gonna pump. I mean, if I miss, it's over. So like that's the game. He has Boom Burst. This is gonna sting. It shouldn't knock me out. Yeah. So we hit, and this is going to drop. So yeah, this is not looking good at all. Toxicity does die. Drill looks so good against me. It's unbelievable. Especially if he's like Mold Breaker, which I wouldn't be shocked if he is. Who comes out? Is that Lottie? No, Virizion, okay. I'm not the most scared of this since I still have a full health Comfey in the back. And I think I'm just going to go into it. Yeah. I'm just going to go into it. And see where it takes us. He goes for Swords Dance. I'm kind of okay with that. Like, completely fine with that. I just need chip on this, which I can get because I am, whatever, the ability. A part of me really wants the U-turn, but that's actually not the smart move. So I'm actually going to Drain and Kiss and sack myself off to this thing while getting good chip on it. So yeah, even if he kills me with a Leaf Blade, that only means that Cinccino can come in and revenge this thing. As I do live, which is nice. And he's leftovers, that's fine. So Cinccino can beat everything except for Drill. If Drill is not Mold Breaker, I can switch in Rotom freely still, which is really nice. And I think I just spam Draining Kiss till I die here. I don't really see another play. Dude, because my voice is getting dry. Was that high roll? That'd be more than last one. We still died to Leaf Blade. Yeah. Okay. So still not in the worst position here. Have to go into Cinccino. And I think I just Tail Slap. Yeah. So, believe it or not, we're still not in a terrible position, as this will knock out Virizion. And Virizion's gonna drop. So nice. Believe it or not, Rotom can still bring this back. It's at really low health though, which is the scary part. As the Drill's gonna come out. He's Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker Scarf does beat me right here, so yeah. In fact, that actually just does it, I think. I think I just lose the game because he is Mold Breaker. Even if I outspeed this thing, I don't knock it out, and he can just click Earthquake for free, and I don't live it. Yeah, we just lose the game. I'm trying to think of any ways I can get out of this, like, alive. I mean, again, if he's just Scarf, I lose, right? 50 health. Yeah, I took too much from that move earlier. Maybe you turn into a few crits up from Bullet Seed. Yeah. We'll find out right here. It's a good set if he brings it. He's not Scarf. So maybe a few crits might help us here. So I'm going to switch out. So if I still had triple Axle on the set, would have been nice. As we just go on the Rotom. And we'll see what we can do. Earthquake, yeah. I have Shuka, but because, again, took the hit earlier. And I had to hard switch this in anyway, so I should still drop to it. Yeah. So I need a few crits to, get me out of the situation. But I think we're going to take our L here. This sucks. This does suck. The only upside is that Bullet Seed can't miss. So that's our only hope, is to get a crit or two with Bullet Seed. And that's the button we click. I still need to crit through the Feeny anyway. So we'll see what we can do. Oh, I don't even think with a crit that's just going to kill. Yeah, no way. That just doesn't do anything. GG to my opponent, Jesse. I definitely misplayed so hard around that Toxtricity. I should have just Volt Switched. Because it came down to that situation anyway. I'm so frustrated with myself. Because I should have just Volted out. And then I could just Earthquake it. And I have a Ferrothorn in the back still. So that's my bad. Could have played better. But again, GG to Jesse. We do take an L in this league finally. And I'm going to drop down to 3rd place. Because there's just too many good teams here. But I hope you guys did enjoy this game. I still had a fun time doing this battle. I think it was hacks free, I think. So, yeah. Make sure to go check out my opponent in the description below. His link will be prioritized. Next week we face Incog and the Boston Cyndaquils. So let's, look forward to that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.